सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. I welcome you all with my love and respects. I welcome all the devotees who are sitting with us. Every day, more and more people are getting added to this intense effect. In more and more countries, more and more cities, more and more places around the world. Yesterday I was given a question from a satsang center. The question is, basically a devotee is asking, do you initiate only the people who are sitting live with you, directly watching the satsang, or people like us who can't watch directly, who can watch only through the YouTube, the recorded discourse later on? Do you initiate us also, who watch the discourses later on, through the YouTube, through the recording? I wanted them to know, please understand, the initiation happens whenever you melt down with a deep trust and feeling connection with the Master. When you melt down with a trust and deep connection, you are sitting live with me. You are coming alive with me. I am coming alive with you. Please understand. Here I am making an important statement. A sincere seeker, a sincere disciple, when he sits with a deep, melting, relaxed mood with the Master, not only Master comes alive with the disciple, disciple also comes alive with the Master. Please understand. Not only disciple feels fulfilled, Master also feels fulfilled. When a sincere seeker melts down in the deep trust and relaxes, the transmission of the lamp happens automatically. Whether you are sitting live with me in two-way conferencing, or sitting live with me in the webinar or NTV, or watching this discourse later on in the YouTube recording, does not matter. If you are sitting with a deep trust and a relaxed mood, understand, I am alive with you, you are alive with me. When a sincere seeker sits around me, not only he is fulfilled, I am also fulfilled. My mission is getting fulfilled. A sincere seeker, when you sit around me, I don't even expect you to do puja to me or meditate or do any rituals. Just if you sit around me, not only you are fulfilled, you are feeling the fulfillment, I am also feeling the fulfillment. When a sincere seekers come and sit with me, I am also happy. A sincere seeker deeply fulfills a master. Understand? sitting with me live or listening to the audio discourses, listening to the video discourses recorded later on does not matter. When you melt down and sit with a deep trust, the connection happens, the initiation happens, the transmission of lamp happens. It is no way related to only sitting live with me during this morning satsang. But one thing, if you have the habit of coming and sitting in the morning satsang, not only the initiation will happen, you will practice these techniques systematically, and the next evolving will be more easy. See, there are so many instructions and understandings which I add continuously every day. If you are watching the recorded discourse on YouTube, you will not be watching in proper time. Today's session you may watch tomorrow, and yesterday's session you may watch day after tomorrow. The timing may not be proper, so only those difficulties should be avoided. If you are watching the recorded discourse in YouTube, decide every day you will sit only at particular time, watch only the last day, yesterday's discourse, that's it. So have that habit of maintaining that continuity. Don't change the dates and time of the discourses. If you have the continuity, you will have the same effect of watching the live NTV. When a sincere seeker sits with the master, thousands of things happen in their system. Upanishad completely awakens your inner being, the inner self. So I wanted to tell the devotee who wrote this question that will I be initiated if I am watching the recorded discourse? I tell you, you will be initiated. The transmission of lamp will happen even if you are watching the recorded discourse. There is one more question. What is collective consciousness? It's a question from Satsang Center. All the thoughts which is thought, spoken, contemplated, suppressed or expressed, everything, please understand, all the thoughts created, spoken, contemplated, suppressed, expressed, all these put together becomes an independent intelligence. You need to know an important fact. The matter which has become highly sensitive or subtle can become life suddenly. That is the way the cell is created. The first cell is created out of matter only. I have seen in my experience water staying on a rock slowly allows the plants, water plants to happen. Then it allows small animals like a fish and all that to happen? We may think, no, there is external influence, it is happening. But I can tell you from my understanding, this one truth, even matter which has become sensitive can give birth to life. I want all of you to know, even the dead thoughts, when it gathers in huge volume, it can become independent intelligence. If 1 million people are thinking at the same time, some good thought, like let there be global peace, let there not be wars, loka samasta sukhino bhavantu, let the whole world be happy. Please understand, these thoughts happening in millions of mind at a time will not be a just dead matter. It becomes an independent intelligence and tries to change the way they think, the way they work, the way they act, even if these thoughts are not directly, systematically communicated to them as per the traditional methods like a talking or informing or taking it to them. Please understand. Thoughts created by huge number of people, even if you do not do any action, just those thoughts, when they gather, when they get collected, when there is a huge mass, it becomes an independent intelligence. Only thing, the mass of the thoughts, the volume of the thought needs to be a certain quantity. If one person thinks, let the peace be on the world, it will not become collective consciousness. No. But if the same frequency, the same thought, the same coherence happens in few millions, suddenly you see that collective consciousness happening. I can tell you, if 3% of the world population, from my research I am saying, Maharishi says square root of 1%. But from my experience, I feel now the amount of collective negativity is there on the planet Earth. Based on that, I am saying, if 3% of the world population at any moment sits silently and sends a peaceful, loving thought into the cosmos, into the cosmic consciousness, the whole collective negativity present will be nullified. We can push the Kali Yuga into Satya Yuga. We can push the collective consciousness into great spiritual blissful cycle. Thoughts are infectious. Spiritual experience is infectious. Spiritual truths are infectious. I can see very clearly. Even all the devotees and disciples who are sitting in the ashram, you can see very clearly. When the levitation experience was transmitted by me to a group of ashramites, Slowly, 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 you can see that it has spread now. Almost 90% of the ashramites are experiencing that Kundalini. The remaining 10 are catching slowly. I am seeing every day at least 2-3 people are catching. How it happens, your bio-memory as an independent intelligence to take and send informations. Your brain is independent of your logic. Please understand, fortunately, your brain is independent of your logic. There are thousands of things, even if your logic is not able to grasp or understand, your brain grasps it. Your muscle memory grasps it. Your muscle memory catches it. There are many people who are experiencing Kundalini awakening and levitation. Even they are wondering, what is happening to me? Something beyond me is happening. How? Understand, you are fortunate, your brain is more intelligent than your logic. Fortunately, your logic cloud has not completely covered your sky brain. Your brain is like a sky, your logic is like a cloud. The cloud is not able to completely take over the sky. That is why your muscle memory is just catching it from the collective consciousness. You need to know. As body, you are natural. As logic, you are societal. So the body is more intelligent. It can capture the truth even if logically you are not convinced. It can just catch it. When the honest experience is happening and the truth is being transmitted, your muscle memory, which is more intelligent, will straight away catch it. Because your body is the gift from nature. Your logic is gift from society. Anything societal is suicidal. Your body is from nature. It's a gift from the nature. That is why, even if you are logically not convinced, the highest experience is straight away picked up, caught, received by your body. Your brain, your muscle memory can directly receive and transmit informations, experiences without any ordinary traditional communication methods like a word or visual or signal or any other orthodox method of relating, communicating. That is why your muscle memory is catching this experience. Just like that it catches. Sometimes your logic goes on denying. One of the important thing a master is supposed to do is taking care that logical people do not experience the emotion or ordinary sentiments with the master. Because if you deny that ordinary emotion or sentimental fulfillment, the logic will be denied its lubrication. When the lubrication is denied, logic has to die, because without basic lubrication, logic is too much to hold. Logic is heavy weight without the sentiment lubrication. Thoughts which are created, suppressed, expressed, manipulated, modified, in any form happen, whole this thing put together is collective consciousness. Collective consciousness can become negative or positive, and if your body, biomemory, individual consciousness is getting in tune towards positive, you will attract that kind of positive people, group, informations around you that will click with you. If you are making your body and mind towards negative, you will attract all negative informations towards you. This is the biggest problem. Once you fall for the negative information, you will start attracting that kind of information more, and you will click more with that. That is the most dangerous thing. That was one of the biggest problem human beings face. Even during this scandal, I can see very clearly whoever was tuning themselves are ready to give their ears to the negative ideas. Not only they fell for it, they started attracting more and more negativity in their life. People who stood strongly with their positive experience and clarity, they are tuning and attracting more and more positive experience and energy in their life. People who stood strongly with their positivity and stood around me and with me, now they are experiencing Kundalini awakening and levitation. People who tuned themselves towards negativity and allowed the negativity to take over, now not only too much gravity on them, too much of depression. I know many of these guys who created negativity and spread negativity to others, how totally depressed they are, unable to come out of their negative fantasies. All these fellows, filled with their negativity, create and spread that negativity. They live in their fantasy game and they project all that fantasy game on me. I have a story for you. Two psychiatrists were at a convention. As they conversed, one asked the other psychiatrist, "What was your most difficult case?" The other replied, "I had a patient who lived in pure fantasy world. He believed that an uncle in South America was going to die and leave him a huge wealth. All day long he waited for a letter from an attorney. He never went out. He merely sat around and waited for the fantasy letter from this fantasy uncle. I worked with this man for 8 years. The second doctor asked, "What was the result?" The first guy replied, "It was an 8-year struggle every day for 8 years. But I finally cured him, and then that stupid letter arrived." Understand, here the patient is not in fantasy world. The psychiatric doctor is in fantasy world. This foolish psychiatrists who are in the fantasy world, how can they cure passions? It is time we understand the basic truths about the collective consciousness. If you tune yourself positively, you will attract positive people, positive information, positive incidents in your life. If you are tuning yourself negatively, you will attract negative incidents, informations, people in your life. So understanding about collective consciousness is important. Let us enter into the sutra. Today's sutra, Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, 160th Sutra, in 3rd chapter, 10th verse. Subject is Upanishad. Sutra is Tasya Prashanta Vahita Sanskarat. Tasya Prashanta Vahita Sanskarat. Swami Vivekananda translates the sutra as its flow becomes steady by habit. Swami Prabhavananda translates the sutra as when the suppression of thought waves becomes continuous, the mind's flow is calm. Swami Sachidananda translates as the flow of Nirodha Parinama becomes steady through habit. Osho translates this as this flow becomes peaceful with repeated impressions. I wanted to translate the sutra and express my experience. Please understand. Till the last sutra, Patanjali was talking on Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi, Samyama. And he was teaching us how to be in a space between thoughts. Nirodha Parinama, the thoughtless space. Now he is teaching how to establish yourself in that thoughtless space. Yesterday I spoke how to experience thoughtless space. When you sit with a deep trust with the master and listen to him, listen from him. There is gap between thoughts and you are something beyond thoughts. That relaxed sitting, Upanishad, a deep sitting with a receptive mood and a deep trust and feeling connection, gives you the experience of Nirodha Parinama, the space between thoughts, experience between thoughts. Now I am saying, sitting again and again with Master in deep trust makes you established in that space. Please understand. Sitting again and again in a deep trust, with a deep feeling connection, in the restful awareness with the Master, establishes you in the thoughtless space, cloudless sky. Somebody has asked me, there's one more question. What is it that is really working for the seeker? Is it self-effort or Guru's grace? This is one of the important problems seekers face in their life. Is it Guru's grace or self-effort? If it is self-effort, why do we need Guru? If it is Guru's grace, why should we do any self-effort? I am solving this paradox, this problem once for all. Understand, you need to have self-effort to be in Guru's grace. You need to have Guru's grace to have self-effort. Both are not contradictory. When you catch Guru's grace, put your self-effort to be in that grace. Avoid all the negative talks, negativity about the Master and you. When you have the Guru's grace, take the inspiration from him and start the self-effort. When you have the self-effort, put the effort to be in Guru's grace. When you have Guru's grace, use that grace to create self-effort. You need to have self-effort to sit in Guru's grace, to be soaked in Guru's grace every day. The last sutra, Patanjali says, how to experience Nirodha Parinama, means the dimension of thoughtless space. A beautiful word, Nirodha Parinama. The dimension of you in which you are thoughtless. The space in which you are thoughtless. How to experience that? Experience happens when you sit in a deep trust with the Master. In this sutra, today Patanjali is explaining how to retain that state, that space of Nirodha Parinama. Soak yourself in that space again and again and again. Try to sit in that space of deep restful awareness, deep feeling connection with a deep trust, again and again and again, as much as you can. Let your whole body be soaked into that pure experience, pure space. Sit as much as possible, as many times as possible, in unclutched mood, receptive mood in Master's presence. Second, if you are not able to sit in the Master's presence, even if there are 7 people who are experiencing Kundalini experience, the levitation, if you sit at least with that group, where at least 7 people are levitating, that group itself will have the collective consciousness, the Master's presence. Please understand. If 7 people are experiencing Kundalini experience, levitation in your satsang center, be very clear, you have my presence completely. Because usually, if 7 people are experiencing that levitation, all different energies related to 7 chakras are active in that space. So today, this sutra, tasya prashanta vahida samskarat, tasya prashanta vahita samskarat, this space nirodha parinama becomes eternal in you when you become steady and soaked in the same Master's presence where the thoughtless space is happening again and again. Just like if you put the cotton into the honey bowl and leave it, how the cotton gets completely soaked in honey, almost becomes one. Same way, put yourself in the Master's presence. Soak yourself in the Master's presence. And soaking yourself in the Master's presence will automatically, naturally make yourself established in Nirodha Parinama. No mind state, no mind space. Guru's grace and self-effort is not paradox. Sit in the restful awareness, unclutched mood, the deep trust and feeling connection with the Master in Upanishad, as much as possible, as long as possible, as many times as possible. I can give you one more tip. Every night before falling asleep, at least listen 10 minutes to some of my discourse in a deep, restful awareness, in a relaxed way. Listen and just fall asleep. You will see, whole night you are not just in ordinary sleeping mood, you are in Upanishad. Whole night you will be in Upanishad. In the highly elevated consciousness. Sit again and again and again in the deep, restful awareness, feeling connected to the Master. This will not only make you experience Nirodha Parinama, it will settle the Nirodha Parinama in your system. Your system will be established in thoughtless space. Now, I request all the disciples, devotees who are sitting around the world at this moment in 553 places, 224 cities, in 27 countries. Please sit in Padmasana or Vajrasana or Samana Mudra in unclutched mood. You can sit either with open eyes or closed eyes. Just sit in unclutched mood. You will experience now the Nirodha Parinama, thoughtless space. I bless you all. All the devotees, disciples who are sitting with us around the world at this moment, in 577 places, in 239 cities, in 28 countries. I bless you all. Achieve, experience, live, express, radiate and share the eternal bliss, Nityananda. Thank you.